Hey.
Hey.
So where are we?
We are
Tell me where I am.
Well, we're in Chinatown, and we are going to Newtown Bakery. Now, a lot of Chinatowns changed. A lot of things have moved out. We've talked about that before, that Richmond really is Chinatown these days. But there's still a few places in Chinatown worth going to. And Newtown, for me, is, I'm going to call it comfort food.
Yeah, comfort food kind of sums it up.
Like Hong Kong style. Although apparently there's also Filipino. I hadn't noticed that on the menu, but apparently there is.
So they do a combination of takeout bakery items, and then there's also a sit-down place at the back, and we're kind of hungry, so we're going to go sit our butts down and
yeah, but I just wanted to mention with the bakery part, sorry, I thought you were done.
No, it's okay.
With the bakery bit, if you're looking for dan tot, the egg tarts, or almond cookies, you know, the sorts of Chinatown staples from way back, Newtown has those, and they're pretty good.
All right, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. So there's the lovely Laurel in front of the Newtown Bakery. They don't take credit cards here, so it's
they
either
do cash and debit,
or Canadian debit. They don't take American or outside of anything not Canadian. Yep, lots of frozen things.
Frozen wonton and various other dumplings.
Hi, for two.
The booth at the end?
Fantastic, thank you. There's a sign that pretty much says it all right there.
Yeah.
Boy, they really make a point of this because it's they give you a separate thing. It's
right?
on the. Yeah. This restaurant gets written up, and it's a lot of people that come to visit Vancouver and want to go to quote unquote historic Chinatown end up here, and it's pretty good, but you can get caught out if you don't have your proper banking maneuvers.
There are, just so you know, there are Western breakfasts like eggs with ham, wieners, or bacon.
Wieners?
Yeah. There are omelets, and there's congee and that sort of stuff. They have, if you come by yourself, a lot of times Chinese restaurants can be challenging because things are family style. And so what would you do? Order like a bowl of rice and one dish, right? But they have some mini set menus that are for people who come in solo, and I think that's a pretty good idea.
What are we doing?
So they have dim sum. They have dim sum type items here. Like I said, they have bao and jiaozi and various other dumpling type things.
So bao for the uninitiated is a big, like a white fluffy bun.
Well, those are the Cantonese bao, or the big fluffy ones.
I bow to your expertise.
The Mandarin bao are like Shaolong bao, the soup dumplings, so they don't have that fluffy exterior. But all the bao are like a dough.
She's pretty much an expert, eh? Yeah. So we've made some decisions.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting menu because it's a hybrid of some of the more traditional Cantonese fare, and then there's some oddities on the menu like spaghetti.
And ham spaghetti.
And beef with black pepper spaghetti. So I don't even know. It's like.
But there's also, I think that's Chinese Canadian, right? There's sweet and sour pork, and you know. And then there are a few, like I said, Filipino.
Egg foo young. They actually have that here. You know, it's like all the classic things that you can remember from the Dragon Inn when you were a kid, kind of thing.
We're going to do greens and oyster sauce.
Okay, bok choy, yeah?
Bok choy is excellent, yes. Deep fried spicy tofu. The pan fried lopak meat pie.
Okay. Yeah.
And
sticky rice wrapped with chicken and pork.
Okay.
And the shrimp dumplings.
Shrimp dumpling, yeah. Thank you much.
Thanks so much.
Sounds good. So it's a funky place, definitely. And it's really interesting how Chinatown has changed, especially in the last 10 years. In the last 10 years, Chinatown has really changed a lot in Vancouver.
We noticed initially that grocery stores started disappearing, like grocery stores that we'd come to for years. They couldn't afford their rent, they moved out to Richmond, or they closed down completely. And Chinese people who lived in Chinatown were moving out of Chinatown. Again, rents were getting higher, and it was gentrifying, right? And so then the restaurant, when Hans left, that was a big deal.
And then it's interesting, like there's a barbecue meat restaurant here that's interesting because it's almost like like a scale model of the original or something like that. It's
I think
like
it's
an homage.
It's an homage. It's an homage. It's like a hipster homage to the original barbecue meat, duck and stuff hanging in the window.
Because years ago, you used to be able to come down here and there was at least, 9 or 10 Hong Kong style noodle houses, with barbecue duck and pork hanging in the window and steaming bowls of broth, and it was quite fantastic. Now they're actually really hard to come by.
Yeah, there aren't very many of them anymore. So.
Yeah. We lament.
Yeah.
We do.
So it's changed a lot, but you can still get, if you're willing to go to Richmond, there's that.
Richmond's pretty incredible for
but
Chinese food.
Chinatown has struggled with a combination of the downtown east side, which for those of you who are not from here, is
there's a big issue with unhoused people.
Unhoused.
Rather a lot of them, and drug addiction.
So, the neighborhood has a challenge with that, where shopkeepers might come in the morning and have broken windows, or unhoused people sleeping in the doorway or whatever, and that can be really challenging for business. And then on the other side, some hipsters have moved in and they went, hey, it's cheap here, and there are cocktail bars, and there are interesting fusion restaurants, and they're all very upmarket, and there's some new condos that are upmarket, and so you've got this strange juxtaposition of these different worlds. As
the song goes, the times they are a-changin'.
Always.
So the first wave has appeared. Laurel, describe this thing.
That is bok choy with oyster sauce.
Oh, it looks lovely.
I'm glad the oyster sauce is on the side because I'm not a massive fan. I used to like it, and something's changed, and I don't anymore. And then this is like a daikon or radish cake, I believe.
They even call it carrot cake in some places.
That's in Singapore.
Yeah.
Sometimes they refer to it as turnip, and maybe it is sometimes made with turnip, but I'm pretty sure this is daikon. And it has little bits of, I think, sausage, Chinese sausage in it.
Some sauce on the side.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. How is it?
Texture. It's fried on the outside, and it's kind of soft and sort of glutinous on the inside.
Glutinous maximus.
It's hot.
It's hot. Scalding.
Yes, the inside is really hot. It's a little bit fishy. I'm thinking maybe a dried shrimp.
Dried shrimp is usually a component.
Really nice in there. So you got the crispy on the outside. The inside is smoking hot, and because it's kind of gelatinous, it sticks to your tongue. That's why
nice.
I was having a hard time burning.
Should we go to the hospital after?
No, I'm good. Like I said, I'm not going to dip in the oyster sauce.
Smoking hot.
No. Perfectly cooked though. Not
nice.
Overcooked, not undercooked. It's absolutely perfect. Little baby bok choy. They're good.
Excellent. We have this is our sticky rice, which is wrapped in what's the name of the leaf again?
Banana leaf.
Banana leaf. And I don't think it is a banana leaf. No, it has a more fragrant kind of thing to it.
No.
It's a funky leaf that they steam it in, and it adds a certain amount of flavor. And then we have the hagao, which is the shrimp dumplings, and one of our favorites, which is deep fried spicy tofu.
Bowls are in order. Plates and chopsticks make no sense to me, especially if you're trying to pick up the rice. So the little bowl. Wait.
And there's always the assumption that if you're not of the Asian persuasion, that the fork and spoon are pretty much your de rigueur go-to eating irons.
Yeah.
And
but not us.
Not us. Laurel's going in for the
try the tofu.
Tofu.
Hot.
Hot. Salty, spicy, yum.
You know, the first bite is not spicy at all. It gets you later. Yeah, there is some spice in there, but initially it's like just deep fried tofu, and then it creeps up on you a little bit.
Now, some people have a thing against tofu, but I tell you, you have the deep fried spicy tofu, it's going to change your mind. It's really good. It's a little salty.
This version does not come with peanuts. Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Really good.
There's a hint of 5 spice in there, and onions, chilies, It's pretty yummy. Oh, did I mention salt? Yes, lots of salt. So Laurel's got the. Oh, look at that!
Look at that. That looks like a pretty good bite, doesn't it?
It does. This is a real dim sum favorite too. You get it. It's a pretty good sized portion actually too, isn't it? It's really quite good. Is it yummy? So there's bits of Chinese sausage in there, ground pork, dried shrimp.
That wasn't ground pork. That was a piece of pork.
A piece of pork. They didn't cheap out.
No, it was like a cube of pork. But I do see the sausage in there.
And some chicken too, isn't there?
Yeah, I believe there's chicken. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See the chicken?
Wow. I can't see that. There you go.
That's chicken. Shrimp dumpling.
A dim sum staple.
It is.
Good.
Nothing wrong with that. That's a good hard pumpkin.
Interesting. And I just put some soy sauce on the side because I like to dip things in it, and they have an unusually dark. I think it's a mushroom soy that they use here. Very strongly flavored soy, and I like a lighter soy. I mean, this is good, but it's just not what I'm used to. Complain. So this has been a very interesting experience. Because if you've been watching a lot of our videos, we kind of go out of our way to try to challenge our palates and try things we haven't tried before. This is largely food we've tried before, and in often cases, almost entirely. In fact, you were saying it borders on the nostalgia. And,
for me, I think this is a nostalgic place, and with the exception of chicken's feet, there is nothing on this menu that is challenging.
Right. So it's if you're of the opinion where you don't want to be eating tripe, or you don't want to be eating tendons and all that stuff that is you might consider to be dodgy. The menu here is very, very safe. So there's chow mein, there's sweet and sour pork, there's chop suey and wontons and all that sort of stuff.
And they do some dim sum stuff that they do a perfectly good
adequate.
It's an adequate job.
Yes.
It's not the best dim sum I've ever had.
No, not by a long shot.
And it's not bad. So I guess it depends where you find yourself and who you're eating with, whether this is a place that you want to come to or not.
So it just goes to show there's something for everyone.
There is something
and there's someone for everyone. And I'm not sure if this is going to be our regular stop or not, because there's so much more. It's such a greater diversity of stuff out there to explore. But this does hit a certain nostalgia
and Chinese Canadian.
Chinese Canadian, exactly.
Specific cuisine that sometimes included French fries with gravy and grilled cheese sandwiches beside the chop suey on the menu,
taking
right?
me back. Yeah,
so
right.
Those of you who grew up here, this is that kind of place. I mean, I don't think they have grilled cheese on the menu.
It's uniquely Vancouver, I think, in a lot of ways.
That it can have some pretty authentic stuff that they do adequately. And then there are some things that are catering to people who don't want authentic.
Yeah, they want safe. And I think this lands really in the safe part of the category there. So, yeah. We enjoyed it. It was okay. But I know that doesn't sound like a ringing endorsement, but you can't hit a home run every time you're up at bat. So that's sort of how we feel. At least we got on base. The sports metaphors will end here.
You gotta stop that.
We'll give 110% every
No.
We're going to leave it all in the field?
No.
No? Okay. Sorry.
Thanks a lot.
No.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I do need the receipt.
Okay. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Fortune cookies, coconut tarts, moon cakes, century egg cakes, winter melon, all the things.
I'm glad that we went, because it was illuminating, because this place gets written up in all of the tourist literature for Chinatown, and there was some positive aspects to it. I wouldn't make a special trip.
No, we have been here before, and we didn't come just out of the blue, but it's been a couple of years since we were last here, and I'm not sure if it was better before or if it was, you know, we were just post-COVID and we were just thrilled to be in a restaurant. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that was it. I think that was it. Just, oh boy, humans. We could sit next to humans.
They're lovely people. It's family run. The women, the staff there are just so friendly and lovely. You know, and the food is fine. It's just not our thing so
That's
much.
right. So we're gonna make our next trek out to Richmond, I think, next time we go to some Chinese. So there it is. Anyway, please like and subscribe, even though...
Comment.
Comment, yes, many comments. And we will see you next time.